Well, serving as the director was really the biggest honor of my career. It was just such a wonderful opportunity to do so many things. At first, it was daunting. I was young. I was head of a large research institute and had followed a number of very prominent individuals who had set a very high standard for leadership. But I learned a lot as director. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about leadership and what that meant. And I learned about how to set a strategic vision for an organization. I especially learned about working with so many different people with different interests and expertise and abilities and personalities. Fantastic opportunity with such engaged and committed individuals. It's really important for me to balance management and leadership with my own research. And so over the years, I've tried to do what I felt all investigators at FPG should be doing, which is high quality research that makes a difference.
I want to say that I never had aspirations to be an administrator, like a dean or a provost, but the opportunity to be the leader of FPG was such a great chance to both provide leadership and to continue my research program. I was able to do both when I was at FPG, and thanks to the colleagues that I had there. In administrative support that I received from Greg Burish as Associate Director for the Business Office, and a set of Associate Directors for Research, Donna Bryant, Kelly Maxwell, Ioma Aruka, Desiree Murray, all provided just huge support for the research that was occurring at the time. And I was fortunate to have great colleagues, and still have great colleagues, starting with a young postdoc at the time, Brian Boyd, and others that joined our research program, Kara Hume, Ann Sam, Ann Cox, Deborah Hatton, Jessica Steinbrenner, and just a host of other individuals that contributed to the research that we were doing at the time.
To me, directing this amazing forward-looking institute that bridges across disciplines was really an opportunity to grow not only my research, but also to transform our field. So the work that we do really connects critical areas of work, from education to health, areas that all impact children's development. And this integrative model, in my opinion, is the model that will inform our next generation of studies and research on child health and development and child education. FPG provides an opportunity to bring together scientists from different disciplines to interact. And for me, for example, as a cognitive neuroscientist, it was truly a unique opportunity to get to learn from and collaborate with scientists in adjacent areas that transect in some ways with the work that I do. They are very complementary and they inform the work that I do. And I think that's true for everyone at the Institute. So together, we really complete each other's work. It was also very special to be able to connect with our community and with policymakers and with areas where we can take our research that generates evidence-based practices and translate them into policies and into communities. So the dissemination aspect of the work at FPG is really critical and unique.
It means a lot to me as a researcher and someone in the academy to serve as FPG's director, because it's surreal for me in a lot of ways. I really started my career at FPG right after I completed my postdoc in the School of Medicine. My first sort of position was as an investigator at Frank Porter Graham. The former director, Sam Odom, was able to negotiate a position for me as part of his starting as director. And that sort of initial position, serving as an FPG in what used to be called FPG investigators, allowed me to get some of the first grants I would ever get as part of my career. And it really launched my research career, my research trajectory. It's also surreal because I'm now the director of a place where I read so many of the research articles by people who used to work here. And it's led to so many collaborative opportunities as a result. So just in so many ways, it's a full circle moment to have started my career here and over 20 years later to end up as the director of the Institute.
My hopes for the next 60 years are just to continue and to grow the good work that we're doing. I think FPG is still exemplary as a research institute, and I'm just super hopeful and optimistic that we will continue over that next 60-year period.
There is a critical gap in implementation. There's a critical gap in translating evidence-based practices into policies. And the reason why this is so important is because a lot of the shortcomings of our children's health and well-being arise from inability to access resources. So this problem of equity can best be addressed by working at the evidence to policy translation level so that we can then distribute this wealth of scientific evidence that we are generating at the Institute to all communities.
Well, FPG needs to be known as a leading voice, speaking out for children and for families. We need to be known for objectivity in our research and for rigor. We always want people to believe what FPG says and be inspired by it. We want to focus on impact. Everything that FPG does should ultimately lead to impact for children, for families, and for society.
I hope this center really begins to think more about how it impacts what's happening in the state to improve the lives of people within North Carolina, but also continues to do the work around the country and around the world. My hope is that we will continue to grow in size, grow in the breadth of the research we're trying to do to improve children's lives, that we will grow our connections to important and relevant organizations who are doing similar work, but they will also grow and strengthen our connections to each other. I think all of those things will position us to be the best child development research center really in the country and potentially around the world.